Hi, everybody. I am back with how to match nouns and adjectives, how to make them agree with one another. They have to agree in three ways. They have to match each other, basically. Agree is just a fancy word. How do they match each other? If you look down in this window here, they have to match in three ways: gender, case, and number. Genitive, once again, masculine, feminine, or neuter. Case, nominative, genitive. You don't know dative still yet, but you do know accusative and ablative, and I think you've seen vocative as well now. And number meaning singular or plural, not their declension number or something like that. The adjectives and nouns do not have to match each other in their endings. They often do, as you'll see in this right here, but they do not have to. When you have a noun from the third declension, its endings will not match an adjective from the first or second declension. You see here I've got nouns of first, second, and third, and then I also have neuter nouns over here, second and third declension neuter nouns from last chapter. I'm sure some of you are still struggling over the idea of neuter, and I'm always available to discuss if you want to drop me a PT about that. So I've got pretty much all of the declensions or genders of nouns that you've seen so far up here represented. And then we've got adjectives of the first or second declension down here. Most of the adjectives that you've seen have been from these two declensions. Here is first declension, the feminine ones, just like see how they match up to first declension nouns. They're very similar. And then we have second declension, either masculine or neuter. You notice this us, e, o, o business here, how it matches up to us, e, o, o here with a masculine noun. And then we have neuters over here, e, o, and those match up to nouns of the second declension, neuter, like baculum, e, o. So again, they will not match each other when you've got a third declension noun with a first or second declension adjective. They just don't share the same endings. I mean, if you look here, ibus here and ace, those don't appear in these declensions for adjectives. So this is something that does give students some difficulty, but mostly it's a failure to memorize these declensions, to memorize fully. You'll find that you have to look things up to match nouns and adjectives. If you don't have these memorized yet, you're going to have to go look up the noun, find out what declension it is, then find the adjective, match it up ending wise. It gets to be much easier after a while if you simply memorize declensions across the board for all genders and declensions. So anyway, as this, you should read pages 120 to 122 carefully before you even try to do 16b. I think if you do that, read this carefully, and then you watch this video once or twice, I hope that you will be on the right page. You'll be understanding this, because I don't think it's a very hard thing, really. I think it's just kids don't like to memorize stuff. So let's start. I'm going to use this window down here. I'm going to get rid of this content here because I'm going to use this to type things once in a while, maybe here. But keep in mind, adjectives and nouns match. Gender, case, number. Those are the three things you must remember. Gender, case, number, gender, case, number. Say it to yourself 1,000 times. But now I'm going to wipe this window so that I can type in it if I need to. So let's look at 16b. 16b and D are the exercises you, or two of the exercises you have to do this week. So we're going to start with cubiculi. Now what does it say? It says for each noun below, identify declension, then tell what gender, case, and number it is, and then give the proper form of the adjective bonus a to modify that noun. So bonus a is very similar to this magnus a down here, again just representing the three genders there: masculine, feminine, neuter. So you're going to use this as your guide to how to get the right form of bonus, bona, bonum, keeping in mind that the word here is magnus. So you're really just following the endings as opposed to the front of the word here. Okay, so we start with cubiculi. Now cubiculum, if you look in chapter 15, you'll see that this is the way it shows up. Hold on a second. This is the way it would look on a vocabulary list. Cubiculum, cubiculi, neuter, bedroom. Now that should be a long I, but I'm not going to sweat that right now. That should be long. So right there, you should see that long I. But I don't have a way to make it long right now. So, cubiculum, cubiculi, neuter, bedroom. What declension is this noun? Well, from its genitive, and that's the way you can tell declensions always, from its genitive, we can see that this is a second declension neuter noun. E. The nominative and the genitive are always given. So with those two endings, if you will, you should know for sure what declension a noun is. So E. Look around for anything that matches there. E, no. E, close. Ager, agri, no. But we see here E. That is definitely a second declension neuter noun. Neuter. So we're going to write that first. Declension, second. Now let's talk gender, case, and number. Again, meaning singular or plural, not declension number. Gender, we've just said it. Gender is neuter. We have to identify that as a neuter noun. That in the nominative is a dead giveaway for a neuter noun. So it is neuter. Now, cubiculi was the word. I'm going to give you this as it showed up in the exercise. So cubiculi, if we again look back over here, that's where we're seeing that, cubiculi. Now, what case could that be? We run down that second declension neuter chart, and what do we see? I mean, there it is right there. It's there. Do we see it anywhere else? No, we don't. So this is genitive, and it's singular. So I'm going to write genitive, and I'm going to write singular here. Singular. And now if we match it up with the form of bonus, bona, bonum, which again I'm going to use this chart as a guide because the endings are the same for magnus or bonus. All we have to do is find neuter, genitive, singular. Gender, case, number. Say it again. Gender, case, number. Neuter, genitive, singular. So here's the neuter column. Here's the genitive singular line. Follow it over and you see magni. But we're going to use bonus. So we're going to say cubiculi boni. Now, I don't think you're asked to translate it, but that does mean of the good bedroom. That's a genitive singular, of the good bedroom. But it's enough to just have the right form. Cubiculi boni. So again, if a noun is from a first or a second declension, like cubiculum is here, you're basically going to match the ending. So if you know that cubiculum is a second declension, you're gonna jump right ahead and say cubiculi boni, because these adjectives from first and second declension are always going to match, or 99% of the time, going to match first or second declension nouns in their endings. Now, what's an example where that wouldn't happen? Like where you have a word like puer. Puer is masculine, it's second declension, but it doesn't have an us ending. But the adjective always does. So magnus puer, not magner puer, but magnus puer. That's the exception to the rule. Now, filiarum comes from the word filia filii. Take this out here. Filia, filii, feminine, daughter. Declension is, you guessed it, first. Filia, filii, I. That is a first declension feminine noun. So let's get that gender in there now. Feminine. Now we see filiarum over here. Filiarum. We run down first declension and we see arum. Okay. So now we can say that is genitive plural. So we'll leave the genitive and we'll put in the plural. And now, since this is a first declension noun, as I said, you can cut right to the chase and say filiarum bonarum, or you can take the time to look it up. Feminine, plural, genitive. There it is right there. filiarum bonarum. Okay, so again, first and second declension nouns will be easy because you just match the endings. Now, here's where the difficulty comes in. Let's try something else. Let's try. I could do clamorem because that's third declension, but I'm going to jump over to nominis because that's a third declension neuter. And those are new, and you've just had them, and so you're going to forget what this is all about here. Let's see. Nomen, nominis, neuter, name. From this genitive ending, we know that this is third declension. There it is right there, nominis. So we're going to say third declension. Declension, third. And then back to gender. This one is a neuter. Nomen, nominus. And again, if you look that up in the glossary, you'll see this. That N means neuter. So, neuter. Its case is again genitive. You're not going to see that is anywhere but in that genitive. So, is genitive, and its number is singular. It's genitive singular. So now we have to think in terms of bonus, and then we have to match. So we're going to say nominis, and then what's the fill in the blank here for the form of bonus? Good. So we know nominis is genitive, neuter, and singular. So we simply go to the chart. Here it is. Neuter, genitive, and singular. So that adjective is going to end with that long I. That's genitive singular of neuter. So we're going to start with the stem of that adjective, which is bon, B-O-N. And then onto that, we're just putting the genitive singular ending, which we got right here. Nominus boni means literally of a good name. Something like that. But again, translation not required. Okay. I expect that there will still be problems because usually, even when I explain all this stuff, there are still problems. But please watch this once or twice, carefully go through it, and PT me with any questions. Now, let me cut to one more thing here. Auxilium, there are three possibilities for why three possibilities for different adjectives here. And why six possibilities here? I'm going to tell you that right now. Auxilium 3. Why? Because there's um, and Notice here. So auxilium is again a second declension neuter. So it could be nominative, it could be accusative, or it could be vocative. But I think you're going to find that basically the adjectives end the same way. But yes, there are three possibilities: nominative, accusative, or vocative. Patres, three possibilities. Why? Okay, here's pater right here. We happen to have it. Third declension. Patres, patres, and patres. So you will find that for those three different cases, patres, patres, and patres, nominative, accusative, and vocative, you're going to use three different endings, or at least two different endings here. Patres is going to go with boni, or it's going to go with os because it's accusative, or it's going to go back to e, which is vocative. Kivis has six possibilities. Kivis is a third declension noun. It has six possibilities because it can be either masculine or feminine. So think of the possibilities there that are raised as a result of that. I hope this helps. I think I've talked long enough now. Good luck, and send me any messages if you're unsure about things. Take care.